So this is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC, and I'm joined this week by Tommy. And, of course, we got Mike.
I'm Mike. I love wrestling, and like Cesaro, hopefully again one day. Love always wins.
That was the saddest intro. Oh, my God. Man, I just want to hug you now. God, that was so depressing.
I mean, I know it's not even on our thing, but, like, he didn't even get to be on SmackDown last Friday. It was just Rollins backstage to like set up the match, and I was like, "Oh, this doesn't look good for him."
That was so sad.
You know, the funny part is like last year, of course, you're always like, "This is 2020." This sounded so peppy, and as the year went on, it got depressing and more depressing. And the same thing has kind of happened with the Cesaro thing ever since you started using it after WrestleMania. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Although, don't worry, guys. If he keeps losing, then I'll share my Cesaro Bayley fan fiction.
Nice.
And I'll share that booking and how that goes down. So that'll be an episode one day.
I keep telling you, I kind of want to write it now. If I wasn't like knee deep in like 5 other things, I absolutely.
Bernsey already joining us, says ding dong, hello everyone. Hey Bernsey, what is up?
That made Mike feel better.
So everyone that is joining us, we hope everyone is staying safe. If you're in the San Antonio, or granted the I-35 corridor for that matter in Texas, you're probably getting drenched with all the storms and all the rain. We went a little bit later just because we wanted to make sure the storm passed. No crazy power outages, and luckily everything is working for all of us here. So,
and some of us had to drive all over San Antonio anyway.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. If you are joining us or watching us later on, I know we're on Monday. We're not doing this tomorrow because tomorrow, and she's not with us, but I want to send a happy birthday message to my beautiful wife, Tina. Her birthday's tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, yes. And if you pretty much. So, her birthday's tomorrow. Next time she's on the show, definitely just send her some birthday messages. She might be on when we do the show late next week. I'll get into that later when we're talking Slammiversary and Money in the Bank, because I know she always loves Money in the Bank. So,
I mean, don't we all like Money in the Bank?
Yeah,
the wrestling show.
The wrestling show.
Okay,
both. Hashtag both. Yeah. So
right. I'm gonna admit I'm gonna miss the corporate Money in the Bank climb the ladder that we're not gonna get. I'm actually sad we're not getting it now because
it was fun. It was fun.
I was gonna say. Yeah. I will straight up admit, I thought it was the dumbest sounding thing for the longest time.
Dude, same.
And they pulled it off. Most of it, yeah.
As a cinematic, it was great, you know.
Yeah,
so
I gotta give
except for like someone got thrown off the roof. Well, not really. It was over the edge.
Someone jumped the shark with that, right? But now, if they would bring back live fans and do a corporate ladder match with live fans in attendance, you know, that's just another thing.
It'd be hilarious if they like had like fans on each floor, like kind of cordoned off, but like you clearly saw the path they were. That'd be hilarious. I agree with that.
But we're not here to talk about Money in the Bank just yet. Ring of Honor is having a pay-per-view this weekend, and it's the first time with live fans in attendance since the pandemic started. So we're going to be previewing Ring of Honor Best in the World today, making match predictions. There's a lot to go down, some good lineup of matches, I must say. So,
yes.
And you can always join the conversation with us at CCG_WrestleCast. See it at the bottom of the screen, just under Tommy. He's pointing at it right now. If you missed our little George Washington so-called stunner picture, happy 4th of July.
I must have saw that 20 times yesterday.
Such a great
picture. I laughed every time because everyone made a Washington 316 joke, and I'm grateful I had those kinds of friends. I really
so amazing that picture.
It was great.
Out, so. All right, let's get into what we're talking about today. Ring of Honor Best in the World. And as Mike and I said before the show, thank God Tommy is on, because we kind of need him to know what's going on here.
Yeah. Look, guys, I don't know if some of y'all are aware of this, but obviously JC is in charge of getting this whole thing set up. And then Tommy is like knows all the other wrestling stuff that we don't know. I don't really know what I bring other than bad jokes and, puns at times. But yeah, like if it's Japan or any good indies, it's really on Tommy to carry us. You know, like
You said I really don't know what I bring.
Mike brings a lot of the WWE and the AEW focus.
Yeah, you bring.
Look, if we ever have a podcast about early '90s pre-Nitro WCW, I am running this joint. But other than that,
if we ever do a retrospective, maybe. But,
there you go.
If you do retrospective, you'll probably have me beat on that one. I'll admit that.
And while I don't think everyone here follows WWE, but I like to say I think I watch more AEW and Impact more than I do WWE right now. And then Tommy of course is getting in free at Ring of Honor shows any chance he can. Let's talk about
that happened like twice.
In one weekend at WrestleMania 32 weekend, you happened to get in Ring of Honor because you had the hookup. So
actually, 3 times now.
Well, 3 times, yeah.
Oh no! Wait, because I don't know if I ever told y'all this at when WrestleMania 25 in Houston, I went to a ROH show. And a guy was asking, he's like, "Hey, who doesn't have a ticket? Someone bailed on me." And I said, "I don't have one yet." He's like, "Come on in with me."
You're so lucky.
And I asked him, I said, "But then I asked him, I said, how much is the ticket?" He said, "Don't worry about it." And we
Okay, well, at least that guy had a ticket he paid for. You, on the other hand, show up at the door at Ring of Honor at WrestleCon or whatever it was, and like, "Hey, Tommy, come on in. Let's go watch some Ring of Honor
Tommy's
wrestling."
like the Forrest Gump of independent wrestling. just kind of shows up everywhere in all these cool places.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I was gonna say that's not, but then again, the Spectrum News literally just discredited any argument I have against you. So yeah, you're right.
That's true. Yes. If you're not sure what Tommy's referencing, Spectrum had an article about RCW coming back. First indie show in town with fans in attendance, and they got a quick quote from Tommy about why the indie shows are so good. So, Bernsey says, by the way, Mike, he's been watching WCW Monday Nitro on Peacock. Nice. So, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was on
good shows.
I think the whole library is on there now. Pretty much the entire WCW video library.
Hey, they did say by SummerSlam, right? So
by SummerSlam they should have the entire library.
They did.
So they got like a month and so to go.
You know what? I guess it just occurred to me that we're in July already, so that's probably why that just completely sailed past.
Look, for all the talk, Peacock eventually is going to get there with everything. But for all the talk, I will say this, because watching the live streams of pay-per-views, there's no like buffering ever. Like I always had that issue with the WWE Network app on Roku. And even with Boss Baby Family Business coming out this weekend, my kids wanted to see it. No streaming issues whatsoever. So thank God that I could just sit them there for an hour, 45 minutes, and they were good. So
I just want to ask one thing. And look, if you want to hire me, NBC, to do this like on my off time, I don't want to watch Hell in the Cell Season 1, Season 2, where instead of the year of the event, you just call every time it happens a season because you're a TV show. That's what you do. So like, I don't know how to find Money in the Bank, 2016. It's like Money in the Bank Season 5 or something, and it's really weird.
It does.
Let's hope they remedy that. Let's really hope they remedy that. So, and give me some more options to choose as my icon for my profile. I don't really like the male wrestlers you had there, so I just stuck with Steve Carell from The Office for now.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Michael Scott, man.
And Tina went with, Tina Fey. That's her profile, so that kind of worked out. So, yeah.
That's a good point.
All right, Ring of Honor, Best in the World, right. Sunday show, yes. Fans will be in attendance. First time, I imagine that it's going to be crazy loud in there.
It's going to be insane in there.
Yeah. There's 2 pre-show matches. We're not going to pick them. We're just going to point them out to you. Danhausen and PCO against the Bouncers, and Demonic Flamita versus Ray Horace. Tommy, is there any of these 2 matches that stick out to you, like might be a little bit underrated, per se?
Definitely the Flamita and Ray Horace match is going to be underrated, because I have a feeling after the whole way that they broke up in the first place, that Ray Horace is going to be taking that pretty personally. And honestly, Danhausen and PCO is just going to be hilarious. I mean, I think it's going to be intense, but it's just going to be hilarious. So, yeah.
Yeah, Danhausen with PCO. Like, I don't even know who the Bouncers are. But those two together just sounds like
Yeah. Well, if you remember the Beer City Bruiser,
yeah.
the guy used to always work with a keg. He's one of the bouncers.
Oh, okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Go ahead.
let's say PCO and Danhausen, they have an interview that's up on ROH's YouTube channel
Yeah.
that is absolute insanity. And yes, it's as funny as you're thinking it is. So I highly support anyone watching it now.
And
Gotta
I
go
also
check
hope
that out.
this doesn't sound offensive, but demonic flamita sounds like something I can get at Taco Bell, and is going to leave me hurting in the restroom for a while after.
No, now that you said that, yeah, that's exactly what that sounds like. I didn't think of it before because I remember when he went heel, they called it something. I heard Flamita still, but I couldn't make up what they were saying because I was watching it and I was like fading in and out. And now they see demonic Flamita, which fits because he went full bad guy on us. So I was like, oh okay, damn. All right.
Definitely
So
not a Crohn's friendly name for sure. Burnsy says his profile is the T-Rex. Yeah, very nice. Nice touch. Peacock, yeah. So, all right. Well, besides those two pre-show matches, there are 7 matches on the main card. I don't think they're going to be adding any more this week. Like this is pretty much set and ready to go.
Yeah, I think they're all pretty set in stone at this point.
Yeah,
but I think at this point, anything that happens during this coming week is just going to be a whole lot of brawls breaking out left and right. That's what I'm predicting anyway.
Now, the first one we're going to talk about is Jay Lethal versus Brody King. Guys, when was the last time we remember Jay Lethal being on a pay-per-view and he was not involved with any sort of title picture?
It was before 2020. I take it.
Yeah, it was definitely before everything changed. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while. But shout out to him. He's still there. He's still there. For all the Ring of Honor. It's pretty amazing. So
he's been one of the guys that's helped keep other people there too. Honestly, to tell you the truth. So.
Now, Mike and I have a bold strategy of letting Tommy pick everything first and trying to see if we kind of agree with this. More likely we will. We'll see how well this works out for all of us. But
I mean, you're not supposed to explain how this works, but
oh shoot, I thought I muted my mic. My bad. That was in my head. I was just throwing it out there, right? So Tommy, Lethal versus Brody King. What are your thoughts on this, and where are you going with it? So
my thoughts on this is where the faction wars are really starting to kick off because Jay Lethal is, of course, a member of the Foundation, and Brody King is the, I guess, leader of Violence Unlimited, which is the stable he started with Homicide, Chris Dickinson, and Terry Deppen. So I'm going Brody King only because it's like I feel like they've been kind of jerking him around for like the past like year, but on purpose. Not just like building up. And I think now that he has Violence Unlimited, they're really going to kick him into high gear at some point. If he doesn't win the world title this year, I'll be shocked. But if he doesn't win it this year, I say he's going to win it next year, and I think it's going to be the start to his rise. And who better to beat first than Jay Lethal? So I'm going Brody King over Jay. So
all right, Mike, what about you?
It's hard to bet against Jay Lethal on a pay-per-view.
True.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing. Is like it's Jay Lethal on a pay-per-view. That's when he turns it on for real. But I don't know. Yeah. Brody King's aggression seems to have increased with Homicide, which I think happens every time you team with Homicide. So
and I also think Lethal is at a point where a loss may not necessarily hurt him, especially if it's in the midst of something involving faction. So I think I'll agree. I think I'll go Brody King. But sure. I would say that there's some shenanigans going on.
Shenanigans.
Tommy, remind me who's in the Foundation. I know it's Lethal and Gresham. And,
it's Lethal, Gresham, Tracy Williams, and Rhett Titus, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure those are the only 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's those 4.
I believe those are the only 4, and I think you gave me a lot more names on Brody King's side, and the fact that you have Homicide in his corner is enough for me to want to stick with Brody King too. You know,
because to me, Homicide's become kind of like the Conan to the LAX of this group. It's like he's like kind of like the Godfather, but he's like the Godfather that will still kill you if he has to. Like so.
So JC, you're gonna go with the Yankees, man?
I'm gonna go with the Yankees, man. Hey, for all Side might say about my Stros. And I miss getting to see him because there's always a fun baseball conversation when Homicide and I get together. Yeah. So it's always a good time.
4 in the group in the Foundation. The 4 I mentioned, I was right. I can't believe it. I got everybody's name, but
I can believe it. You're like a freaking encyclopedia.
I thought I missed someone. I really did. I thought I missed someone. So.
Yeah, I'll go with Brady King. And he's really got to be on his way up here, and like you said, Mike, Lethal can't really take a loss and have it hurt him. You can take a loss and not have it hurt him so much. So, all right, EC3 against Flip Gordon. You know what? I'll make a bold move and actually go first on this one.
Oh,
and I'm going to say EC3 because I believe this is his first pay-per-view with Ring of Honor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
So I'm going to say
EC3.
EC3.
You know what? I think you're right because I think he missed one because he tested positive for COVID. So this is technically his first one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I'm going with EC3. Like, been waiting for this moment for a while. It's long overdue, and good that it's working out with fans in attendance. I think they're going to respond well to seeing EC3 again live. So I'm going to pick EC3 first. So, Tommy, what do you got?
I got EC3 as well. I think this is going to be part of. I think he's still doing the whole create your own narrative thing. And honestly, I see him as another guy who's a top contender for ROH World Title Gold soon. I love his rebranding of himself. Like, he didn't have to change his name to like completely reinvent himself. I love that. And I think Flip Gordon. I think they'll probably keep him in the constant underdog role until he like finally breaks out. Maybe he'll get a faction of his own. I don't know. So,
and Mike.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make it a sweep. I'm going to go with EC3. I know his, after he left WWE and he kind of changed his character, he wasn't able to really get on a run before the pandemic hit and kind of slowed everything down. So I'm hoping, too, to see him kind of have a big breakout year and kind of climb that ladder and, start hopefully going towards the belt sometime soon. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and the next match is the last one on the card that does not involve any sort of championship, and that is a last man standing match between Josh Woods and Silas Young. Excuse me. Tell me where you thinking this one goes, and how brutal do you think this is going to get? Because last man standing is insane.
This one's going to get brutal because it's kind of personal. Because Josh Woods was kind of the protege of Silas Young, and then all that went down. This one's tough for me because I don't know if they're gonna like give the because Josh Woods is still kind of new, so do they give the rub to the rookie or to the guy who's been there? I'm gonna go Silas Young because I feel like he has more expertise. Well, he definitely has more expertise in matches like this. I think it's like every time I turn around, Silas Young is in another last man standing match, and I know how they probably have to do with the last real man gimmick. I was like, but dude, you can actually wrestle, bro. You don't have to always kill your opponents. It's okay. You can pin them and call it a day. So, but I think he's gonna win this one. It's going to be kind of like a stepping stone for Josh Woods, really, like to start to build himself up. He's going to put up a good fight, but I don't know. It's hard to bet against Silas Young, so I'll say he's going to win this time.
I'm thinking Silas too. I still think of that whole last real man thing, and he gives me a lot of like hardcore Holly vibes when it comes to like rookies and stuff. The way you treat rookies, so I kind of like that too. Like, okay, it's going to keep you down rookie a bit and kind of earn your stripes sort of thing. So I'm going to go Silas Young. Mike, what about you?
I'm going to spice things up. I'm going to go for the young guy to get the win and to really put his, stamp his name as I am here and I'm serious. I agree. And Silas Young has, I like his character and the way he's done it the last few years. Yeah. And I know it's a big stipulation, but I think they're going to really bring everything out and hit each other with everything.
I will laugh if Mike is right. Dude, if Mike is right on this one, I'm going to fall out laughing. I'm not kidding.
Well, what I think is what it could be is one of those things where it's kind of gimmicked as opposed to he's really knocked out, like he's kind of trapped. Or something where it's not he's completely knocked out, but there's something that prevents him from actually standing up.
I keep flashing back to the Batista John Cena thing with the duct tape. That's all I think about every time.
But I was also kind of unfortunately about the KO Roman Reigns thing where they couldn't get it unlocked. Mm-hmm. It just took forever. But either way, one or the other.
That was unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah,
that really was. Funny. Really was. Bernsey says, "How do you like me now?" LOL. So.
Nice.
Good shit. Good shit. All right. Well, that could potentially be the one that decides if any of us are going undefeated or not. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Who's got a better record? So, but we'll see how we go the rest of the way. Now, 4 matches left. These are all have a championship on the line. The first one's the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Tony Deppen, current champion, defending against Dragon Lee. Hard as hell to pick this one. So
This is
yeah. So you're going first, Tommy, because this one's hard as hell. So
duh. Anyway, no. So it's hard for 2 reasons. One, it's like for Deppen, he's been proving himself, especially ever since he joined Bonds Limited. He's been proving himself. Another point with him is that he's got this new aggression streak, but technically Dragon Lee didn't really lose the belt because he was injured, so he couldn't defend it.
right.
So that's why this one's so hard to pick. So again, it has 2 interesting ways this could go. Either have the returning champion, win his belt, or have the new guy kind of, retain the belt that he actually did rightfully win. He did rightfully win this championship. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that Deppen's gonna retain because that'll kind of legitimize him and keep some gold on Violence Unlimited. But this could be that potentially, in my opinion, this could be kind of a sleeper hit of a match. Like this could be a lot better than people are thinking it's going to be going in. It's definitely not. It's definitely going to help add more fuel to this faction war fire that Ring of Honor is just determined to start. I mean, I'm all for faction wars. I've preached that before on this show, but it's like they're just like, yes, factions. Let's all hate each other, and I'm like, cool, let's do that.
I mean, it's working. It's got people talking, So, I mean,
Sure.
Mike, what about you?
I'm going to go with Dragon Lee. I've always been impressed with him. Like Tommy said, he didn't really lose the belt through pinfall or anything. He was injured.
And someone defended it for him.
And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't know as much about Tony Deppen. But I mean, I kind of feel like maybe you put the title back on Lee and let him kind of fulfill what they weren't able to fully do in his initial run with it. So that's where I'm going to go.
Okay.
I'm joining Mike and going against Tommy. I got to go with Mi Gente, and that's Dragon Lee. I've always really liked Dragon. I've always loved Dragon Lee, especially here in this television title picture. It sucks with the injury. He couldn't defend it on that last paper. I think it was the 19th anniversary show. And I believe Kenny King won it from whoever had to defend. Yeah.
It was Kenny King. He defended it for him. I think he lost. Hold on, I'm double checking right now.
Let me see. I had the notes here.
Okay.
Tracy Williams beat Kenny King, who was defending it for him, and then Williams lost it to Tony Deppen in his first title defense. That's what it was.
I was going to say, Tom, he's not pulling out of his head. He has Wikipedia up right there.
I sure do. You can see the reflection on my glasses, right?
Yeah.
Research,
cage match now.
research, yeah. So, but yeah, again, let's like Mike said, Dragon Lee deserves to have the title back on him and win it back and defend it. And then that's not to say this could be the end of Tony Deppen and Dragon Lee. I could see this going on. Better part of the year after this. So.
As long as these factions are still going at it, I can see this being a full on war.
Yeah.
Just belts changing hands left and right.
Yeah. Now, ROH 6-man tag team championship: Shane Taylor Promotions against Dak Draper, Dalton Castle, and Eli Isom. I'm just going to say this right now. If your team actually has a name and is not just a list of people wrestling on your team, and just the fact that it is Shane Taylor, I'm going to go with Shane Taylor Promotions to retain the 6-man tag titles at this point. So
I mean,
yeah.
Shayna and Nia Jax have never had a team name, and they've given them the belts for more than they need, so
Yeah.
who knows?
Tommy, did we lose Tommy?
Oh, is he frozen? I thought he was just thinking.
Okay, he just messaged us
man.
that his power just went out, unfortunately.
Oh,
that's
that's
not
unfortunate.
fun. Oh, great. Okay.
I mean, one, it's unfortunate for Tommy's electricity, but two, like now we have to talk about ROH on our own also.
Yeah, fun. Okay.
All right, well, hopefully Tommy gets that back up soon.
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to leave his picture there. And if he comes back up, we'll know. But until then, he's sitting there. Mike, you said Shane Taylor also? Is that what you're
Yeah, no, I'm going to go
right.
with Shane Taylor. For this. I mean, he's our guy from here in Texas. And you're right, like they have
Yeah.
an actual name. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let me just message Tommy real quick.
So, like we said, guys, the weather has been something today. And,
That's so weird. He's like right around the corner, I think, for me, and it's not even that bad right now. So.
Well, yeah, okay, but also back in February, you guys never lost power, and
No.
we went like 3 days without it. So you never know.
Unbelievable. I never know. Yeah. So. All right. Ring of Honor Pure Championship. Jonathan Gresham defending against Mike Bennett. And let's see. Oh, there's Tommy there on the chat. I'm also going Shane Taylor Promotions. There he is. All right. Cool.
Must be on his phone or something.
Yeah, probably. All right. While I get this screen adjusted, we're talking Jonathan Gresham against Mike Bennett.
Yeah.
So, Mike, have at it. Go ahead and let me know what your pick is for this while I get this adjusted.
For me, one of the few, ones that I do know a little bit more about, I feel like right now it's hard to go against Jonathan Gresham. Mm-hmm. He has just been killing it with the Pure Championship and in this kind of these kind of matches. He's such a technical wizard. I like Mike Bennett, but unless they're going for a little bit of a shock, I'm going to go with Gresham to retain. Good match, I'm sure. I think it'll be a hell of a match, but it's hard for me to go against Gresham right now. I think he's just really been good with this Pure Championship and these kind of matches. So that's where I'm going.
Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with you on that. I like Mike Bennett as well. I'm happy to see him back in Ring of Honor. I always feel like that was the best place for him and his wife, Maria Kanellis, for those that don't know. And I think everyone's going to be happy to see her back on TV as well, too.
Like the Bullet Club? Or?
Yeah, right. Exactly, right. It's such a classic moment as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to go. Let me see if I can fix this here. I'm definitely going to go with Jonathan Gresham as well. Okay. I'm just making the best adjustment I can here on the camera. I hope everyone bears with me here. Let me click back over and see where Tommy's going. Yeah, he's on his phone. He's also going Gresham. So we're all going with Jonathan Gresham here. Cool. We're making this work, guys. We're making this work.
Tommy, text me your answers first.
All right. And finally, the Ring of Honor World Championship. ROH defending against Bandido. Pretty awesome that there's two Mexican wrestlers in this title picture.
I was just going to say, and I mean this with complete respect, but, we've talked about how much it meant for, like Bianca and Sasha to main event WrestleMania, to, two black females to do that. I don't know if we talk too often about if we've ever really seen very often two Mexican Hispanic wrestlers main eventing shows like this. Mm-hmm. So I do have to say that's pretty cool to have that happening. I know it's ROH, which not as many people see and follow, but regardless of where it's at, I think that's pretty cool.
All right. Tommy is saying Bandido all day. Bandido, he says. Wow. So Tommy's going with Bandido. I am sticking with ROH. I think as the leader of that faction that he's got, and granted, he's had the title for most of last year, but I still feel like he should hang on to it through the live crowd era and get fans to like really hate him, So I'm going with ROH on this, and Mike, it turns out you're going to be the tiebreaker on this one. So where are you going with this one?
This is a hard one.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with you and stick with ROH.
Ooh, boy.
I think maybe it's, they're kind of finally getting back into the swing of shows and pay-per-views and, maybe not start off with such a big change, like you said. Allow ROH a chance to kind of reestablish himself, and so it kind of means a little bit more when it finally gets taken off of him. So I think I'm going to go with you. I like Bandido, and I hope he does down the road win it. Mm-hmm. But I think it might be better in the long run to let ROH reestablish himself and kind of be, like you said, kind of become a bigger heel so that when he finally gets beaten, it really has some impact. No pun intended.
All right. Let's see. Burnsy, I'm just seeing your messages now. I apologize. Shane, for him, he's going with Shane Taylor Promotions, also picking Jonathan Gresham, and he's actually joining Tommy and picking Bandido as well. So,
in all fairness, they probably know more than we do, but let's see how this works
yeah,
out.
it's a bold strategy, right? Tommy says my power just came back on. Okay, Tommy, as soon as you're able to join, by all means, take your time. We're hanging in there.
Would you like us to Fandango while we wait for you? Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
Anyway, that is Ring of Honor Best in the World. This is the first Ring of Honor pay-per-view, as I mentioned before, with live fans in attendance. It is a Sunday pay-per-view. I'll have the full details later in the show about it. But this is pretty exciting for the promotion. When the pandemic started, I really wasn't sure if Ring of Honor was going to make it through. I think because they had so much of their roster that had moved elsewhere. Their live crowds is their big thing. How are they going to get around? They didn't really have a headquarter area, but they made it work. I'm so happy they're still around, as worried as I was, and I'm very, very excited to have pay-per-view back. We'll talk more about that. And if you weren't here, if you're checking this out after the live show, comment, let us know your picks. You can tweet them at us, of course, and we'll see how well you do. So, a little bit of wrestling news to touch on. There's not a whole lot other than to say, kind of surprising to me that we now see Zelina Vega back in WWE. Mike, you were watching SmackDown, I believe. What were your thoughts when you saw her come out? So
it was definitely kind of shocked. Like, so in the storyline, although I guess on Raw people have to qualify, on SmackDown, Sonya Deville is just like announcing people for the women's, and it's probably because SmackDown only had like 3 women to begin with that are left. But she announced Carmella the week before, and then this past Friday, her second one, and it's Zelina Vega, and it's kind of one of those things where you hear the name and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And you kind of have to like, is that okay? And then she comes out, and I've read some stuff since then that said that they may have, like, not too long after she was released, they may have been already talking to her, and because a lot of it obviously had to do with the streaming stuff, the Twitch stuff.
It really had to do with the fact that the money she's making with WWE wasn't enough. And in comparison, like the third-party apps, she's a Twitch streamer.
Right.
She had an OnlyFans channel as well. And she made more money doing that. And when they took the third-party access away, I'm pretty sure she did cameos, I'm not sure. But when they tried to pull that back and say, hey, you can't do that anymore, you're trying to make money off of this, even though she wasn't using her WWE name.
Right.
She said she refused because that's her income. She makes more money doing that for WWE than she does with WWE, who they really don't have any merch for her. And that's pretty much the reason why they let her go. And
yeah.
And
I am a little shocked, especially when they released Tommy and what was his
Black.
WWE name?
Aleister Black.
There you go. Sorry, Black.
Mm-hmm.
And people kind of assume, well, she's out now. He was out. That they might actually join together, and even with Andrade, or reunite those two. So it was a little bit of a shock, but I'd read some things since then over the weekend that this was in the works for a while. That they were, whatever reasons, like we talked about with all that stuff, that they still wanted her back anyways. And it's weird when I hear some of these things sometimes, like the same thing kind of with Aleister Black. They released him, which was a shock because he was in the middle of getting a story going on. And then right after he gets released, they're like, oh, people are already talking about wanting him back. So it kind of makes me wonder, like, you assume obviously Vince has the final say, but how quickly are they making these decisions? How much of a discussion are there? Like, why would you release someone only to be like, oh, you know what, we probably want him back really soon? Like, why would you, I don't know, like that kind of,
yeah.
And it's a business. There's a whole lot more that goes into it, I'm sure, but it's just strange when you hear things like that, like, then why do it in the first place? But
how are they renegotiating the contracts as well?
That may be true
that
too.
That could be another thing. So
maybe she got a little bit of an increase to be okay with not having that other stuff.
Yeah,
so.
Even though the funny part is like shortly after SmackDown went off the air, her Twitch stream went live because her husband has been streaming as well. So he's on her Twitch stream. He had a little discussion about it. I believe he games a little bit too, but he was talking a bit about initially after his release what happened and everything. So, but it is disappointing in a bit for me because I was actually excited to potentially see her on AEW. Andrade had made it known that he would love to have her there. I think Tommy End would have fit well in AEW or Impact, wherever he decided to go.
And he still might, yeah.
Yeah, he still might. We don't know how that's going to turn out. But, and I'm not 100% convinced that this is a permanent thing for Zelina Vega. For all we know, this could just be a temporary thing to have a name on the Money in the Bank. Who knows? But
because SmackDown needed more than 3 women on their shows.
Yeah, like what if it's just a short-term deal? While she's, I don't know if she's still on the no compete. I can't recall when she got released. It was before
that curse was a while ago.
Yeah, so who knows? We'll see how this works out. But the fact that she's getting to wrestle in a big match says a lot, and I'm actually excited to see that too. So, congrats to her on that. And with that, we'll move into our 1 minute warning segment here. Hopefully Tommy can join before his, but until then, Mike, do you have anything to talk about this week?
Of course.
Of course he does. All right. Whenever you're ready, sir. 3, 2, 1, and go.
So to the shock of absolutely nobody, I'll be talking a little bit about Cesaro and Bayley, because I'm starting to feel a little bad for them for the same reasons and with slightly different stories going on. Bayley, I guess because they're just having things on hold until we get back to fans. After all their match, after Hell in a Cell, there's another match with Bianca Belair. So they set up on Friday an I Quit match for Money in the Bank. And I was a little worried because in the promo, Bayley started saying, "You think you're going to make me say I quit? If you make me say I quit, I'll quit the show. I'll quit the company." And I was like, don't do one of those storylines. And they backed away from that, at least initially. It just seems to be an I quit match. But there's no, I mean, if Bayley wins, I'll be ecstatic. But there's nothing, and it's not even honestly good booking at this point, unless you have something up your sleeve to do that. So I've also heard rumors, though, that she may be finally taking some time off after Money in the Bank. But Cesaro also, this coming Friday, it's him and Rollins again for a Money in the Bank qualifying. Now, I have a little hope for Cesaro only because I think they want to put Rollins into the main event picture, but I think him getting screwed or losing might cause more of this, like, where he goes kind of crazy and thinks he deserves it and stuff like that. So a little bit of hope there, but it's really unfortunate that they were put in really good feuds, but they just kept them going because, from what I can tell, they're just kind of waiting for fans to get back to kind of restart storytelling, and it's unfortunate because they've been, Bayley especially carried SmackDown through the pandemic, has just been brilliant in this new character with Bianca, helping her look like $1 million. So I know that was like a 4-minute warning, but we're also waiting for Tommy, so I'm sure it's okay.
Way to kill time because he's getting here. Obviously, if you see the little picture right now, you see that his name is popping up. Here he comes here.
Oh my God! Who is that? It's Tommy in the Impact Zone. Oh my God! What's he doing here?
Freaking power grid in this freaking neighborhood.
What do you mean, man? The state's got it down.
Yes, because ERCOT is so trustworthy when it comes to this shit.
But it's just like I heard what JC said. Like during the blackout, his neighborhood was fine, and mine flickered to the point where one of our transformers even blew up. I was like, and I'm like, why? There's not even any lightning or thunder.
Yeah, ours is just straight up. But
yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
All right.
But Tommy, if you don't mind just turning all your appliances off and your temperature up to 85, because we don't know if we can handle
thermostat down exactly.
First of all, okay, how many F-bombs do we get per show?
One.
Jesse, how many?
Sorry,
one.
Just one.
Okay, here's mine. First of all, fuck ERCOT. Let's just get that out of the way.
Oh, what? I heard that.
Sorry, everyone listening. But I was trying to, I even had to went outside. I was like, okay, that's across the street we're on. I don't know what this grid is.
Hey, you're back. It's okay. The show's still on. Here you are. It's good to see you. So
let's hurry before something else happens.
Okay, well,
anyway,
this might shock you, but I was just talking about Cesaro and Bayley.
I know. I was watching it. I'm not surprised by that.
Well, I did hold off.
JC.
It's all good. It's all good. I did hold off on 1 bit of wrestling news because I wanted to see Tommy's reaction to this.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Kaylee Ray is no longer the NXT UK Women's Champion.
Oh, I heard about this.
Miko Satomura defeated Kaylee Ray for the NXT UK Women's Championship, a reign that lasted quite a while. I don't know how many days it was, but it's unknown when it was taped, but it did finally air.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. So
is this last week that it finally aired?
This last week that it finally aired. So that's when it officially becomes out. And it's within the last week or two, I believe. But that's Kaylee Ray is no longer the NXT UK Women's Champion. Congratulations on a hell of a title run, though. So, because, you know, say what you want about Pandemic or whatever. The fact that she still had the title through that, they could have taken it off any way they wanted.
I feel bad. She held it so long. Like, all of her original competitors, like, left NXT UK and went to NXT or went to the main roster.
Right? Exactly. So, all right. Tommy, if you got a 1 minute warning this week, you can rant and rave about ERCOT or anything else you want to talk about. You got a minute to go. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, ready, set, and go.
Anyway, about ERCOT. I mean, what the hell? Who's running? Is Vince booking this? What the hell? I am so sick of this crap. Anyway,
Probably Vince Russo.
Do not give me. You know what? I'll use that. So there was a poll the other day. I think you guys saw me share it about worst world champions of all time. And first of all, it had Jinder Mahal on there, which is bullshit. Yes, Jinder Mahal was a fantastic heel champion, and screw everyone who doesn't think so, because that man did his job. He was hated, people couldn't stand him, and the second he lost to AJ Styles, the crowd erupted. That's what a heel champion's supposed to be. You're supposed to not like him at all. Yeah. Dude did his job. Props to Jinder Mahal. Okay, but they had Vince. I said anyone who doesn't say Vince Russo is lying. And everyone said, what about David Arquette? I would agree with that if it had not been for two factors. One, David Arquette never wanted that booking decision. He absolutely has gone on record and said he did not want that, never did, and God bless him for it. Number two, he redeemed himself. Mm-hmm. And for no other reason that he got the ring with Nick Gage. I think if more people would just say, let me just fight Nick Gage instead of going to prison, there'd be a lot of people like, okay, all right, that guy's serious. You don't want to go to jail. But no, I don't blame David Arquette for Vince Russo's terrible booking. And booking someone else to win the world title, I get. But when you book yourself to win it, that's indie promoter territory. I'm sorry. I hate to put it that way, but that's indie. I
mean, you're not wrong. Yeah. So.
But here's the thing, though. They had Vince McMahon on that list too, and I was like, that one was bad, but he dropped it immediately afterwards. And honestly, storyline wise, that one almost made sense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I stress the word almost. Vince Russo winning it, none whatsoever.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. But see, I guess to me, I look at it as also a list of crimes committed, and I get it with Vince Russo. That man is so guilty to me. It's just like no. If he did it, I hate it, and it's like he won the WCW World Title, and so I'm just like I'm so mad at that. But my last thing I'll bring up, since I went over my minute, Mike got to go over his. Is get well soon to a Stardom wrestler, Natsuko Tora. She got injured this past show. It was a torn ACL. So nice. She's out for 8 months, I think. She's the leader of Oedo Tai, which is probably which is one of the longest running factions in Stardom. So get well soon. It was during a title match. She did lose, but get well soon. Apparently it just happened. She just jumped off the ring apron to the floor, and something just popped.
Those freak
simple,
things, like the Seth Rollins thing.
It's one of the freak things. She just jumped down and something just popped, and they noticed, and people noticed she looked like she was in pain at the end of the match and everything. So that sucks. Hate to see it happen. That injury bug, man. Because Rebel too, she got injured. She got a calf injury. So
I was going to mention that, but I think it's pretty cool because I was watching when it happened. That part wasn't cool, but she was just kind of laying there, like she wasn't writhing in pain, but you could tell something was wrong. And I've seen several male wrestlers tweet, man, Rebel no-sell that dislocated kneecap better than some of the guys who get the same injury. And I was like, it's true. Because she wasn't rolling around the ring. She was still, you could tell she was in pain, but she wasn't emoting it and making big, which I would have completely understand because your kneecap got dislocated.
Yeah.
But I would probably be crying. But beside the point. So definitely shout out to her. And then apparently they said they kind of got her fixed up, and she was backstage drinking with the guys and the crew after the show. So hope she's doing good.
So basically, it's kind of, to me it's kind of like that time Candice Michelle got in trouble for hitting a better DDT. One of the guys did, and she got reamed for it. But then Chris Jericho told her, like Jericho put her aside and said, "Don't worry about that. If you hit a better DDT than the guys need to step up. That's not your fault." If you so it's like that. So like if the guys are like saying, "Hey, chick, that shit worked that in," it's like, hey, good for her. So and that's my thing. I've met Rebel a couple of times. She's super nice, really really cool person. So it sucks to see her injured, but like all the props she's getting, I hope means more for her in the future. Plus, because like when you demonstrate that toughness, everyone else notices.
She'll probably be right back on the crutches, which was such a big thing for her character anyway. So
yeah.
Burnsy said he had saw that match. It was awesome. I think he was talking about Hall and AJ Styles, I believe, or he was talking about the Kaylee Ray NXT UK Women's title match.
Maybe it might have been that one.
Yeah. He also says, "Don't hinder gender." Laugh out loud. And DDP said it too. I'm guessing he was referring to the Vince Russo thing and the David Arquette thing. So, but if we're picking like worst world champion among any promotion, it's definitely Vince Russo when it comes to WCW.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. David Arquette gets a pass. I tell everybody, look, I get if you're still mad at him, but to me, David Arquette gets a pass. He redeemed himself since then. Guy. If you get in the ring with Nick Gage just to say I'm sorry to.
Discord, come on, get through.
Because I know wrestlers who've been at it for years who, and rightfully so, won't get in the ring with Nick.
And then in the middle of that match, like, no, David, we don't want you to die for it.
Yeah.
It's like, you're good.
Then finally, Jason PS3 says Konami has to take over.
Oh, he means in Oedo Tai.
Yeah.
Konami, who I'm still mad at for betraying Tokyo Cyber Squad.
Me too.
Shut up. Yeah. Well, you know what? Konami-led Oedo Tai would be pretty interesting because she went full dark side when she joined. I mean, like it's like she actually had felt the dark side of the Force when she joined that group. Her clothing got darker, her hair got darker, her eyes got weird. I think her skin got paler. I can't confirm that, but it's possible. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see her lead the group if she took over after.
Yeah. I want to take a minute just to congratulate all these promotions that are finally getting back to normal.
Yes.
We mentioned that Ring of Honor, of course, is having live fans in attendance. WWE is a little over a week away from actually having that as well with Money in the Bank.
Wrestling is back, baby.
Wrestling is getting there. Ring of Honor, RCW, which actually just as old as Ring of Honor, just had their first show.
Can you believe that they're the same age?
Yeah, actually just had their first show with live fans in attendance and got another one scheduled at the end of this month. I'm excited and I congratulate every wrestling promotion that stuck through it, independent or not. You made it. Now we're still a ways to go before we're all out of the pandemic, and all I want to say is if you're going to a show, if there's a mask policy in place, just follow the rules if you want to be there. But if there's not, and people are wearing a mask as a personal preference, let it be. Okay? Don't make it a political thing. Don't make it a political issue. Don't do all this and that. We get to wrestling to escape from all that crap, unless they're portraying that somehow in the ring and it's funny. We just kind of work with that. But I'll just say it myself. I'm fully vaccinated, but I'll still wear a mask at indoor venues just to be on the safe side. And for somebody who has Crohn's disease, I'm actually going to start wearing masks in the winter anyway because I don't want the damn flu. It was, it's another added protection, if you will. But if you attend a show with people around, wearing a mask is entirely up to you. But if someone is wearing a mask and they're just wanting a little bit of personal space as a precaution, at least grant them that common courtesy. Yeah. We're not fully in the clear yet. One day we'll be back to where it's going to be a mosh pit around the ring. We'll all get to go crazy and everything like that. But until then, just be safe and just respect other people's wishes on it and just have fun. Because the alternative is that these promotions would not be around and we'd all be stuck at home waiting for WWE to keep monopolizing everything. So congrats again, every promotion that made it. So
I'd rather shoot myself.
Yeah. And I still wear my mask most of the time because I figure as much as my face as I can cover, the better. So if I could wear a lucha mask out.
Well,
if you want to hide your facial expressions, yeah, that's true. So yeah.
My expressions.
Because of the fact that I'm married now, so I don't care what I look like. It's like, hey, she found this attractive. I mean, look, honestly, I look at myself in the mirror in the morning. I still don't get it. I don't get what she saw. I look at her, I'm like, really? You still said yes? All this, and you still said yeah? Okay. Okay, then float your boat. I guess if it works
Ashton
for you.
Kutcher's coming, isn't he? He's jumping out any moment now. Playing the long game. I've seen this episode.
Well, you even said yes to the wedding,
Yeah.
got the dress and everything.
I will say this though, there would be a never more appropriate time for a whole bunch of people in the stands to be wearing lucha masks. Just throwing it out there, So it's one way to be safe, right?
Well, if we're being honest, Bandito had us beat by years with the mask. So
It's true. You feel like
that's one dude who should have never ever caught COVID ever, because
you feel like the luchadors are like the healthiest people during this whole thing because they're already wearing masks, right? So
don't really remember hearing a lot of them catching it, to be
No.
perfectly honest.
Very true. Very true. All right. Ring of Honor Best in the World this Sunday, July 11th, right? Yeah.
Back, baby.
It is at the Chesapeake, let me see if I say this right, Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena, formerly the UMBC Event Center. So it's still the arena they had been using in Baltimore, Maryland, the campus of University of Maryland, Baltimore County. But now they got a corporate sponsor for the arena naming rights, which, by the way, Spurs fans will be looking for that in about a year. But it's going to be at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. The pre-show will start at 6. Now, obviously, since all of us are in the Texas area here, if you're planning to buy this on pay-per-view, if you do not have Honor Club and just want to straight watch it, it's on Fight TV at a $40 price tag. If you're an Honor Club subscriber, which is either $9.99 a month or
I think it's $9.99 a month.
it's $9.99 a month, or it's just $100 for the year, it's only $15 to watch this pay-per-view. If you're on Honor Club VIP, which is the $120 access for the whole year, it is free. So more information on that can be found on the Ring of Honor website, rohwrestling.com. But if you want to sign up through Honor Club, I would recommend that if you do sign up for Honor Club, and especially because a lot of people will probably try and watch this through Roku's or any sort of like streaming device, sign up through the Ring of Honor website, get your account set up, and then log into that onto your Roku. Don't do it through Roku, because all the money that you sign up with does not go to Ring of Honor. It somehow gets tied into Roku, and it gets so confusing when you try to cancel that subscription. You have to go to Roku to do it. You don't really get an account set on the Ring of Honor website. It's just confusing. The easiest thing to do is to make an account with Ring of Honor's website, set up the Honor Club subscription. That way, if you decide to do it through an iOS device, an Android device, a Roku, Fire Stick, whatever, you have that one account set up. It's the same login for all those devices, and it's a lot less confusing. That's just the best way to do it. And you should be able to link that to your Fight TV as well. It does all that for you. So, but yeah, Fight TV is $40. Honor Club $15. Honor Club VIP is free to watch Ring of Honor Best in the World. So,
Yeah, what he just said.
yeah. As for us, our Twitter account at @CCG_WrestleCast at the bottom of the screen under Tommy, who is here because his power did come back on. Let us.
I'm not. I'm just grateful we're here, because I'm not planning on making it through the rest of the night. So
let us know your thoughts on Ring of Honor Best in the World. How excited you are to see fans back in attendance, because we know Ring of Honor fans are freaking insane. I think it's been a long time since we heard that banging by the ringside fans, and I gotta say, when I got to do that live for the first time, I was so happy.
They get back to San Antonio, I'm getting a front row seat. I don't care how much it is.
I was so happy that
this money's gone.
I was so happy the first time I got to do that. I gotta say,
dude, that was so cool when we got to do that. I remember looking at the at the side. I was like,
this is so
finally happening.
although back then you think about it, now with COVID, it's like, okay, everybody's got to be wearing gloves, because who knows how many pan prints have touched this thing. Yeah.
When they come back here, I'm gonna have almost like a gauntlet of hand sanitizer, Now, next week we are going to be previewing Impact Slammiversary and WWE Money in the Bank, but it won't be on our usual Tuesday time slot. As I mentioned before, Tina, myself, and the family, we're going to be going to South Padre for the week. Nice little family vacation. We should be coming back into town on the 16th of July, which is that Friday. So, I think we're going to be doing the show that evening after SmackDown. Does that work for you guys, you think? Is that the best way? Yeah. It's either going to be that evening, or it'll be probably noon on Saturday, which is the 17th, which is the day of Slammiversary. But I think Friday night would be good, because we'll know after SmackDown the Money in the Bank card should be set. And that'll be also the day after the first Impact show, after the 90-day window is done for all the releases. So all the people that they've been teasing could show up on Impact. That would be the earliest they could potentially appear on Impact Television. The archetypals.
The architect.
You know, I hope so, but they were on Renee Paquette's Oral Sessions podcast,
Yeah.
and they've been saying they've had issues with their visas. I think I saw that thing.
Jesse's
their work
visa, right?
visas.
With Jesse's visa,
Yeah.
right? Or both of
Well,
them?
both.
Oh my god!
I mean,
I hope they get
like,
that cleared up.
because
Shouldn't be one for Cassie
because-
because she's married. But
okay, but
She married to a Canadian.
Cassie married a Canadian,
Yeah.
and Jessica is
Damn
married
it.
to. They're both Australian. Her husband's apparently Australian too, so it doesn't. They don't get that, but you know they mentioned sponsors, so I'm hoping if Impact were to pick them up, that they could help them with that part of it, and you know they just didn't mention it because obviously they don't want to give anything away, but.
yeah,
Well,
I'm sure they'll get it worked out by then because you know.
For all its history, Impact has a decent track record with that. I mean, I remember Angelina Love had visa issues at one point, and they got it cleared up just in time. So I'm pretty sure they'll work it out somehow. That they'll be clear and good to go. You know.
I remember one time we saw Angelina Love at the counter at a hotel because Sean told us where they were staying.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of them. I'm just.
I think they will. I think they'll work it out because when they used to have all those, you know, international for the World X Cup and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I think they'll get it worked out. They just probably had a hard time right now, so they can't say too much since the 90 days isn't up yet. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they can't really tease anything, but I'm sure everything will work out too. So, again, look for us on the Friday, the 16th of July, to be previewing Slammiversary and WWE Money in the Bank. It's going to be a fun wrestling weekend. That one I'm really looking forward to. Life Fans back in attendance. Money in the Bank is one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year for WWE.
Definitely. How is it already July 5th, guys? It's weird.
Dude, that's what I said. It's like it just occurred to me that we're in July.
Yeah. Crazy, huh? Crazy. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We do appreciate it. Enjoy Ring of Honor this weekend, and please stay safe, as always. And just be thankful we have fans back in wrestling. So, over here, we've got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
So glad you could get back online here with us, too.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah. And, of course, we got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And, as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are
fake.
Boom.
And happy birthday, Tina. Look forward to celebrating
Happy
tomorrow.
birthday.
Love you, babe. Take care, everybody. See you next week.